When all the colonies ratified, the new United States still needed to establish a government. In 1789, George Washington was elected to be the first president. Two of his cabinet members, Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson, had opinions and ideas that often clashed.
Having a national bank would benefit the country and stabilize the government. That would help the country industrialize and follow in the stability of the English. As I said about industrialization, it is the interest of nations to diversify the industrious pursuits of the individuals who compose them, to advance the interests of those who are engaged in it.
I most strongly disagree. A national bank would harm the interests of the smaller state banks, thereby weakening the state governments. In addition to that, England is a too heavily industrialized country. We don't want to turn into what we just escaped from. Like I always say, in Europe the lands are either cultivated or locked up against the cultivator. Manufacturing must therefore be resorted to of necessity, not of choice, to support the surplus of their people.
I'm done discussing this matter. Good day.
Humph!
You know, he does have a point. Excuse me, but I must remove myself. Good day.
Fine, if no one will take my advice seriously, I may as well resign from the cabinet and run for president myself.
Later, Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton became the leaders of opposing parties. Jefferson and Hamilton each had their own supporters. Jefferson led the Anti-Federalist group he later called the Democratic Republicans, and Hamilton led the Federalists. After Washington's re-election in 1792, foreign policies began to take center stage.
These European countries always fighting.
Who is it this time?
It's England and France. Again. They've been stopping our ships, searching and seizing them.
Oh heavens! That could disrupt our trade with them. We must continue in a way that promotes trading policies with both countries. We certainly do not want a second war with England.
After 2 terms, George Washington declined to run in the 1796 election. This set the example for terms of office that presidents abided by until 1940. No official term was stated in the Constitution. The next president was John Adams, a Federalist who beat Jefferson by 3 electoral votes. In 1798, soon after becoming president, Adams was required to negotiate with the French over the seizure of American ships, leading to the XYZ affair, a disagreement over bribes the French wanted in order for the negotiations to begin, thus leading to a wave of anti-French sentiment.
Those dirty mongrels! The French think they can do this to us? My God, they can't tell us to give them a loan and payment bribes. They captured our ships, for goodness sake. We shouldn't have to give them anything to get them back.
Pardon me, but the French wouldn't do anything to exploit us. You're accusing them for no reason. They are our allies. Remember the War for Independence and how they helped us?
In response to the XYZ affair, the Alien and Sedition Acts were passed by a Federalist government. These were very controversial, not only because they gave the president the power to stop immigration and encourage foreigners to return home, but also because underlying the acts were the Federalists' desires to keep out the French, who sided with the Anti-Federalists to stay in power. Giving the president that much power was also controversial, but it was not outlined in the Constitution and therefore open to interpretation. The first few years of the United States government were a struggle with the formation of the first 2 parties and the arguing between them, as well as the first interpretation of the Constitution in relation to actually governing a country.